Put yourselves in the shoes of the disciples. They were on the way to Jerusalem, right, from Galilee. Galilee is the northern part of Israel, and Judea, where Jerusalem was, and still is in the southern part. So they journeyed several weeks, maybe, I don't know, maybe even months. And 3 times, Jesus told them what will happen when they get to Jerusalem. He says, the Son of Man will be persecuted. He will be handed over to Gentiles. He will be judged by the priests and scribes, and he will be killed. And on the 3rd day, he will rise again. This is their Messiah, the expected deliverer of Israel from their oppressors. What is his plan? Die. That's his plan. So imagine yourself, the disciples did not understand that. Imagine yourself being told by Jesus, okay, lapit na tayo sa Jerusalem, itong plano. Si Caesar, not Caesar, but Herod, king of Israel, he already, a few days ago, went into Jerusalem with a huge retinue of chariots and horsemen. At siya, laki nung kabayo niya, malaki yung espada niya, malaki yung shield niya, tapos ang anggara ng suot niya, yung itsura niya nakakatakot. Kasi yung mga bodyguard niya, ang lalaki ng mga ng mga kabayo, tsaka ang lalaki ng katawan. Tapos yung may chariots pa siya. That's how they entered Jerusalem. Intimidating, formidable, and just a show of military power. And here is the deliverer of Jesus instructing his disciples, meron kayong makikita doon na donkey. Yun ang sasakyan ko. Yun ang sasakyan ko papuntang Jerusalem. Because that's our plan. And then when they get to Jerusalem, what does Jesus do? He looked at the temple. Tapos sabi niya, gabi na, punta na tayo sa Bethany, which is 2 miles away. Doon nakatira sila Lazarus, Mary, and Martha. Doon sila nakikituloy. So, how would a Judas feel? How would a Peter feel? How would a Simon the Zealot feel? Zealot kasi yan yung mga aktivista eh. Yung mga lumalaban eh. They take up arms and they parang sila yung lumalaban sa mga oppressor. And their way is violence. So, isipin ninyo kung ano yung nararamdaman ng mga... It felt awkward, right? And then, yung buong Jerusalem, nakatingin sa kanila, they made noise. Nakatingin sa kanila, kung ikaw sumusunod ka kay Jesus, magmumukha kang, we can say it in church, engot. Right? Parang ito magde-deliver sa atin. This is the son of David. David who killed tens of thousands. This is our Messiah. He will deliver us. Lalabanan niya yung si Herod at saka si Caesar na dumating dito na maraming sandata. Yan ang panlaban natin. Awkward, right? See, that's the way of Jesus. That's the way of the cross. Imagine me saying, 15 million pesos is what we need for the next phase of our construction. This is what we will do. Come to confession. And then we will have 15 million. That's the plan. How would you feel? See, that's the way of the world. It's foolishness, the way of Jesus. It's foolishness to the world, but it's the wisdom of God. It's the power of God. Mother Teresa, I like what Mother Teresa said. She said, do you want to change the world? Ano ba mga problema ng mundo? Poverty, sickness, right? Poverty, sickness, lack of peace and order, fighting here, war here, pandemic there, etc., etc. Sabi ni Mother Teresa, if you want to change the world, go home and love your family. Very simple plan, right? Very simple. Pero I believe that. Love is what makes the world go round. Sabi ni St. Paul, the administration of God is by faith. By faith. The goal of our instruction, sabi niya, is love from a pure heart. That's our agenda. Hindi yung take up arms. In fact, Jesus said, put away your sword. Hindi natin kailangan yan. So isipin ng mga disciples niya, bakit hindi natin kailangan? Ang daming sword ng Romans. Also imagine yourself being a follower of Joshua. And Joshua himself, Joshua was a seasoned military man. Ang instruction sa kanya ni Lord, sige, papasukuin ninyo yung Jericho, ito ang gagawin ninyo. You march around the city once a day for 6 days. Nakapagod yan, ha? 6 days. At pagpagod na kayo after 6 days, on the 7th day, this is what you do. March around the city 7 times. And keep your mouth shut, and be humble, and pray, and believe. That's the plan. What happened? Walls of Jericho crumbled. They all fell down. Yeah, I'm not saying we shouldn't have a practical plans. You know, we've been practical, right? We've been doing things in wisdom, and we should. But the kingdom of God is not built on human wisdom. Kingdom of God is built on humility and love. Jesus' famous Sermon on the Mount was not a blueprint of details of technical things. It's just simply a message of be humble, be meek, love justice, you know, and do justice, love mercy, obey. That's it. Love one another, forgive each other. And all the other things will follow. It's so sad that in our country, I hope it becomes less and less true, but in our country, you know, we have politicians who, some of them are educated. Some of them educated in the best universities, not just of the Philippines, but of the world. Mga educated abroad pa yung mga yan, no? And so they're really equipped for political administration, right? How come what's happening to us is happening to us? I can tell you why. Because parties are divided. Pagkatapos ng isang administration, the next administration, brilliant, intelligent, educated, will choose not to build on the accomplishments of the past generation. Hindi ko kapartido yan eh. Kaaway ko yan eh. So, i-scrap natin yung ginawa nila, magsimula tayo ulit. And we have 6 years. It's a very short time to make changes. But if we humble ourselves and acknowledge the work of our enemy or our rival, and continue that which they have started, which kahit papano naman, may maganda naman eh, di ba? Then, that will all the more accomplish things. Rather than in pride and in spite, not cooperate, you know, not be in unity. Things of God are wise and powerful. Again, the cross, the message of the cross is foolishness to the world, but to us who believe, we may look foolish to the world, but to us who believe, it is the power of God, it is the wisdom of God. How were we able to raise 11.4 million in just over 1 year? If we do it mathematically, maluloko masisira yung isipan natin. It was a miracle. I know I don't even attempt to compute how did this happen? How did that happen? I don't know. I just know a miracle was performed by the same Jesus who multiplied 5 loaves and 2 fish so that they could feed 5,000, and at another time, 4,000. Believe. Be humble, believe, obey, trust in the Lord, because His ways work. Our ways, the ways of man, the ways of the world, we've been trying that for millennia. Where does it take us? Not very far. The kingdom of God, the message of the gospel, God's ways, which influence society, when they follow it, God's ways work. And one day, the whole world will wake up and say, wait, our ways don't work. Let's go up to the mountain of the Lord so that they could teach us His ways. And they will lay down their weapons, in fact, convert them from destructive tools to constructive tools. And then there will be peace. And the kingdom of God will conquer all the kingdoms of this world. Every knee will bow and every tongue will confess Jesus is Lord. His ways work and man's ways don't. Unahan na natin as followers of Christ. Right? Unahan na natin. And let us lead the world toward this destination. Kaya nga sinasabi natin, let's hasten the coming of the kingdom. Because that's what will fulfill us and give us fullness of life. Because in the first place, that's the way it is in the kingdom of our God.